guys and a gal talking about movies. Two guys and a gal talking about movies. Two guys and a gal, they're talking about movies, and you know they are really groovy. Two guys and a gal talking about movies. Two guys and a gal talking about movies. Two guys and a gal, they're talking about movies, and we know they are really groovy.
And we are very groovy. Hello, it's two guys and two gals, and we're in our Pan and I are naked. Pan and I are naked, so you have to use your imagination. But the guys are also naked, but they have AI going on, so you can't tell they have AI clothing.
Talking about movies. Two guys and naked gals talking about movies.
They never show their faces anymore on the screen.
I don't have anything on below the waist. Yeah.
Exactly. So you see, we're all kind of half naked.
Stop teasing, Rory. Stop teasing. Come on now.
Stop teasing the ladies. Come on now.
I got plenty below the waist. I'm just gonna say that.
What did you say, Manny? What did you say?
I said I got plenty of below the waist.
Oh, okay. Now we're going somewhere else. Now, what is this show? Is this turning into something else? What's happening?
Manny has got the best zingers. I am telling you. I love when Manny works blue. When Manny works blue, I go crazy. I love it.
He's spicy.
He's spicy. And today we're talking about the Spice Queen here, Uma.
Uma.
She's very spicy, don't you think?
Yes, she is.
Grew up in Boston with a very unorthodox, weird family. She was 6 foot tall when she was in high school, with feet that would grow to be size 12. So she felt very awkward growing up. Amazingly, she became a Hollywood starlet.
I know, right? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
When I was young and I used to watch her movies, I was like, I want to be just like this girl. How can I be just like her? And me and my sister, we started doing martial arts. We did MMA at a gym in Montreal. And that was after watching her movies. We went to this gym and there was basically no women. And the few women that were there, they didn't even look like women. I mean, some of them I was wasn't sure, but I was like, I want to look like her. I want to train and do martial arts. And she inspired me. So I just wanted to throw that out there before we start the show, because I think she's incredible.
She is.
Yeah.
She's an awesome actress. Again, growing up the way she did, even one of her family members even suggested rhinoplasty. They made fun of her nose.
Huh?
I mean, yeah, you know,
her face is like perfection. Are they like serious right now?
Yeah, and again, one of her first roles was playing Venus, the goddess of love.
Yeah.
In Baron Munchausen. You know.
Come on, people have problems, man.
That's how I remember her coming out of the shell, the reproduction of the Botticelli painting, and Oliver Reed just.
And then Oliver Reed steps in. That's her husband. Lovely.
Yeah, but yeah, you know, and I like people who are unconventionally attractive. You know, I mean, we've featured a lot of beautiful women on this show,
like
Charlize
Sandra
Theron, Sandra Bullock.
I wasn't there for that one. Sorry.
That was a zinger.
It turned into it was actually a pretty good show, but
yeah. Okay.
Charlize Theron.
Salma Hayek. Anyway, but
Rory, stop at the popcorn. I want some now. I don't have any popcorn at home. We don't buy that stuff here at home.
That's his shtick here. But yeah, I've been in love with Uma Thurman ever since.
Of course you have. Of course, every guy.
Adventures of Baron Munchausen.
After watching Pulp Fiction and Kill Bill, I think every single guy out there, has he crushed?
Well, that's what really made her an A-lister, was her collaborations with Tarantino.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
They had a very good relationship. And actually, you know, when they were filming Pulp Fiction, he was writing the script for Kill Bill, having her in mind, and they were actually talking and developing the character together, her character, because she inspired him. And So she was from the beginning. She was the lead actress for that movie. Then she got pregnant, so they had to wait for a year before they started filming the film. But he waited for her, even though she got pregnant. He's like, no way, I'm gonna replace her. She's the leading character
She's
for
it.
this movie. Yeah,
Yeah.
He's the
Yeah.
one.
Jeez, yeah. All right.
yeah.
Well, Pan, we have a tradition that our guest always goes first.
Mhm.
So, what's your number one Uma
Okay, you
Thurman
guys.
movie?
Okay, you guys. Look, so it was between Kill Bill and Pulp Fiction. Now, man, it was a hard one. I went with Kill Bill Volume 1 and 2, both of them, because originally it was filmed as one movie, okay? But
Right. Yeah.
because they went over, took them like 100 and almost 150 days to film the entire film, and they went over their budget. But at the end, it was so long that they decided to turn it into two movies. 6 months later, Volume 2 comes out, right? So
Mhm.
for me, you know, it's such an incredible movie. You know, martial arts. I grew up with watching martial arts, you know, Bruce Lee, everything. I've watched everything that's out there, okay?
Mhm.
So while I was watching this movie, I was getting scenes that were like flashing in my mind from these epic
Mhm.
martial art movies. And I was like, my God, he's using all those movies as his inspiration. Even when
Yeah.
she's wearing that yellow like leotard, you know, and she's coming out to like fight those 88 kind of ninjas.
Yeah.
Bruce Lee was wearing the exact same
Exactly. Yeah.
leotard yellow.
Yeah.
So there was so much inspiration, you know, taken
Of
from
death,
martial
yeah.
arts. And that scene,
And the
that
crazy
fight
idiot wearing a
scene,
Kato mask.
yeah, everything. Like I can list at least 15 moments in Kill Bill that it was inspired from other movies. But anyhow, the point is that Volume 1 and Volume 2, those two, okay, films are my number one together. I
Okay.
combine them because come on, it's one film, okay?
Yeah.
Just like, you know, came out 6 months later, Volume 2, whatever. So that's my
I like
number
the
one, you
first one
guys.
better than the second one, personally. I did.
Oh, you did? Oh,
Yeah.
okay. All right.
But yeah.
That's my number one. I don't know about you guys. I'm eager to see what you got to say, you know?
Well, actually, my number one is the Kill Bill duology, just like you. And I kind of have to agree with Rory as well. The first one is a little bit better than the second one, but they're both just really good. I love that Tarantino used the same actor in different roles. And you were talking about martial arts. He had one of the legendary martial art figures from those Hong Kong action movies, Sonny Chiba. He played Hattori Hanzo in one part, and the Kung Fu Master in the other one, in part two, and also Michael Parks.
Japanese, wasn't he?
Japanese. I'm sorry. Did I say Chinese?
Japanese.
Yeah, Japanese. It's Japanese.
He did use an actor from Hong Kong films who played several characters in the first film. Including the master with the beard, you know, which is a trope in those Hong Kong kung fu movies. Well, but no, he actually was able to put Hong Kong kung fu and Japanese sword movies together, because all of that stuff with the sword play was for Sonny Chiba, who he had.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. There he goes. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. And also Michael Parks, who was kind of a big star in the 70s. He plays a couple of different roles in the movie as well. But yeah, the star is absolutely Uma Thurman. You mentioned the yellow tracksuit, which is a nod to Bruce Lee, and also the rest of the cast. I mean, Lucy Liu, Michael Madsen, who's one of Tarantino's regulars. Huh?
Daryl Hannah.
Yeah, Dennis is saying that trilogy. It was supposed to be a trilogy. Yes, Dennis. So I looked into that. Volume 3, right? So
yeah,
I saw a trailer on YouTube. Now I don't know if it's something that is coming out.
No,
or they put the. It's fake.
It's a fake.
It's probably fan based. Yeah.
Yeah. No, they haven't decided.
That's it. Like,
Tarantino.
I wasn't sure because I looked at the source, and I'm like, it's not credible. but the trailer looked so good, right? It looked so believable that I'm like, oh my God, it's Vernita Green's daughter, Nikki, who wants revenge now, right?
Yeah.
And they're gonna make volume 3, and I'm like, oh my God, this is gonna be so
I
good. But then I'm like, wait a minute, I don't even think it's legit. So
yeah,
what a
no,
bummer. Yeah.
yeah, it was very disappointing. Yeah, I was like, oh, because I saw it too, and I thought, yeah, wait a minute. I mean, it's a great idea, and I hope they do it. If that's, Tarantino hasn't made his, he said he's going to make 10 movies. He hasn't made the last one yet.
Yeah.
And he's still kind of considering or talking about, I I think he should do one of two things: either do Volume 3 of Kill Bill, or do a movie about Jules from Pulp Fiction. His what happened to him after he decided to quit the
I don't
business,
I,
or
I
quit the
I don't
life.
understand with him only doing 10. I mean, 10 films and then
That
put the
was
brakes on. He said that on an
I
interview, I believe, but
yeah,
it doesn't make
but that's
sense,
what
you
he
know.
said so far. I mean, that's what he's saying.
Yeah, he could change
Whether
his
he
mind.
actually does it, whether or he says, well, you know what? Maybe I'll make more movies. I mean,
The thing is,
there's
he
but
had a fallout with Uma, and I think that's the reason why Volume 3 was not produced. Let me tell you what happened. So, like the scene when she's driving really fast in her car,
mhm,
that scene.
yeah,
Rory, do you know which one I'm talking about?
I think I do. Yeah.
She's racing in a very narrow road, and during the filming of that, I saw it in one of those, not documentaries, but when they talk behind the scenes about movies, I looked into that. So they're like, that day she's like, well, where's my double? It's my stunt double. Well, she's not working today. And then Uma said, I don't want to do it because what happens if I get hurt? And then Quentin Tarantino told her, "Don't worry, nothing's gonna happen. It's safe. You can do this." Because he pushes the actors. Like he wants to get the best performance every single time, every take. So she agreed. She did it. She got hurt. She crashed the car because she was actually driving it. She crashed, to a tree. She had a concussion and she hurt her knees, okay, injured her knees. So
yeah,
after that, the relationship kind of broke. They never worked together. They never did any films together. And in 2018, they kind of reconciled. So maybe there's a small chance that they may redo Volume 3. But she's much
yeah,
older now. So it makes sense that they would put another person, Nikki, the daughter of
yeah,
Vernita Green, to actually be the one taking revenge this time on her, right?
yeah, yeah.
So
Well,
that's
yeah, enough time has passed where she would be older.
yeah,
Uh,
and it would make
and I think
sense. She
they
looks
kind of
older.
set it up. I mean, they did set it up in the movie.
Yeah.
That is based on a comic graphic novel called The Bride. Does that fit
Yes.
into the storyline of The Bride, or are they
I think
creating
so.
original?
Well, yeah, I think it's an original. I remember there's there's a website that aggregates a lot of scripts that are available online. So I actually got to read the Kill Bill script before I even saw the movie. And there's a few changes, but when I read that script, and I know it's authentic, and I know because I've read other scripts by Tarantino, and it's definitely his voice, unless somebody was very talented in replicating that. But as soon as I read that, I was like, I have to see this movie. I have to see it. I mean, and I was not disappointed. The movie was what I had read. I mean, there's a few differences, but this is before they decided to split it up into two. But we got to talk about David Carradine, who is Bill in the movie.
Mhm.
And I think he was cast specifically, not just because he's a good actor, but because he was Kane in Kung Fu, in the TV
Mhm.
show Kung Fu, who was referenced in Pulp Fiction uh,
Yeah.
at toward the end of the movie. And I think it was a brilliant idea. It was perfect casting. Uh, and one of his better roles after years. But that's Tarantino. Tarantino will go out and hire these actors that nobody's worked with for a long time. Who kind of they're older. I mean, he revived Pam Grier's career. He revived John Travolta. John Travolta was
Jackie
considered
Brown.
old news. Yeah, and Jackie Brown. Like I said,
He can start
Carradine.
my career.
Well,
Yeah.
and basically jump-started Samuel.
Where is he? I'm ready to do some martial arts movies. Let's do this, baby. Let's
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
do this. And you too, Rory. I'm going to tell him you're going to be on board. And we'll bring Manny too, all three of us.
Yes.
Yeah, big fat kung fu guy.
I'll be victim.
Well, you know what?
Sidekick.
Did you know that Uma was pregnant, right? I said that earlier before, 5 months after she gave birth, she was overweight. Okay. She was breastfeeding. This brings me back to my golden years as when I gave birth to my girls. And I wasn't that overweight, but whatever. I was bigger than what I am now. And she went into 3 months of intensive training from like 9 to 5 every day, training, working out, like eating right and doing martial arts. She became like a superstar, like top shape. So if she can do it, you can do it too. You can do it too, Rory. I'm looking at you. Get ready.
Look at Chris Pratt before Marvel.
Exactly. Yeah.
You can play the evil character. All you need to do is sit on your chair and look mean.
Cousin.
Sorry, you guys. I'm having way too much.
Have a cat. Oh wait, that's all right.
Wait. I want to show the photos what she's talking about. Talk amongst yourself for like 1 second. Talk amongst yourself for 1 second.
Talk to me now. Talk to me.
Rhode Island. It's neither a road nor an island.
They were my number 2, actually.
Look at her.
So this is her. So this is actually her on the left, and then this is 2 months later, after she did the rigorous. Okay, so she was postpartum here on the left. Of course, she had just had a baby.
Oh, I remember those pants.
So she was not pregnant there, but she had, when you have a kid, you gain weight. So she gained weight. This is actually a normal female body on the left, but like Pan is talking about, she hit the gym, went crazy, and look at what so look at that. 2 months.
Yeah. So that's all you need, Rory. 2 months. Look at Rory. I ain't gonna do nothing.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
Okay, you guys. So wait a minute. I want to say something. So did we all pick Kill Bill like as a number 1? Did you pick it too as a number 1?
I just said I picked it as number 2.
That's what you just said? Oh, okay. Sorry. Okay.
All right.
So go ahead. Tell us
what's
your number 1.
So my number 1 was Dangerous Liaisons, which is one of my favorite movies of all time.
Wow. Okay.
It's
she's so precious.
She's wonderful in it because she's so naive and innocent in the beginning of it, and then Glenn Close gets a hold of her.
Corrupts her.
That look in the scene where she goes, "You can be with as many men as you want, as many times as you want, as long as you take some precautions." And that look that she gives, I mean, that's worth the Academy Award right there. She showed right there that she could act with the best of them and hold her own. It's a wonderful transformation, and it deserves. I think it deserves number 1 on my list for that reason. It was only like her second mainstream movie. I think Munchausen was her first real mainstream movie.
Yeah.
She just did a wonderful job in it. And again, Malkovich, who would have thought Malkovich could be a sexy, seductive rake, but there it is. I mean, it's even got Keanu Reeves in it, and I still like it.
I know, right?
But it doesn't do a British accent.
Hey, don't diss Keanu. I love Keanu Reeves. He did The Matrix.
I like Keanu Reeves in his later years when he, when he stopped being, Ted from Bill and Ted.
Well, he was just playing characters like the California kind of laid back dude, like that loves to surf. But man,
fortunately, it took me a while to get past that. I mean, even in Johnny Mnemonic and stuff in his middle career and The Matrix, it was like, whoa, dude, look at this computer, dude.
He was still a cutie.
He was in Dracula. We rail on the fact that he was in Dracula and just didn't belong.
He was still a cutie. I would still go out with him, even when he used to. But he had me at the.
He's cute, but hey,
he had me at the Matrix. Though at the Matrix, that's it. He blew me away, and he gained respect.
I think that was
from everybody.
I kind of saw a little bit in that. I think that was the turning point for me.
Great, awesome.
So, but
cool.
yeah, that was my one was Dangerously Is. So I just want Glenn Close sets herself up to
Easy
play
there,
the
Pinky.
worst-
Easy there, Pinky.
The worst CUNT in history.
Pinky likes them young. Pinky likes them young.
I firmly believe that she got the part of Alex in Fatal Attraction because she did Dangerous Liaisons, where she just, oh my God, she was just evil.
Yeah.
Easy there, Rory. Easy there, Rory. Look, I want to give some shout outs to people who are watching. Dennis is watching. Pinky's watching. Steve was watching. I don't know if he's still there. Pinky, you can tag people. Let's bring in more people. Troy Moore is watching.
I
Hey,
saw that.
buddy.
Troy,
Hey, buddy,
please
where have
connect
you
to me. I
been,
haven't
huh?
seen you in forever, buddy.
Where have you been, huh?
I've been like cock blocked from you, dude. I haven't seen you in forever. I miss you, buddy.
Yeah, he's
Please
done the
connect
same
to
with me. He's
If
done
you
the
got a
same
new
with me.
ID, please connect to me.
Okay, so you guys, I'm ready for my number 2.
Okay.
Hit us with it.
Do it.
Guess what it is, Manny? Guess.
I'm gonna say Pulp Fiction.
Yes. There you go. Like I said, I was struggling between those two movies, but yeah, it's my number 2. Come on, it's so obvious why it's number 2. It's so obvious. It was just incredible. I even covered this movie on the PanOrea Stream channel when I did my movie nights a long time ago. It was me and CJ, and we read some lines and we did some singing. It was a good episode. But anyways, the point is, she was incredible in that movie. The whole cast was incredible. The writing was incredible, right? I mean, most people remember every single scene, and they can kind of like repeat what the actors were saying, so it's like memorable.
Yeah.
And it's just over the top, but like still really, really good, like hands down.
Yeah, it's my number 2 as well.
It's my number 3.
Oh, okay. Rory, you're throwing off the thing here.
He's bringing all the romantic movies.
That's okay.
Again, it just Dangerous Liaisons knocked everything down a notch. That's all.
I think Rory has the sweet side, and he loves the romantic movies. Yeah.
But yeah, Pulp
Fiction.
Fiction. It's I'd seen I saw Reservoir Dogs first, and I thought, wow, this guy has this incredible eye for cinematography and these gritty crime things, And so I went into Pulp Fiction, like, because I kept hearing about it. Oh, you got to see Pulp Fiction. Yeah, okay, all right, And sometimes when movies hyped up so much, you go in with high expectations, and it's like, okay, I don't see what all the fuss is about. Pulp Fiction blew my expectations away. I had no idea what was going, what it was about, what was happening, but the sort of fractured timelines, the way he kind of went back and forth was a little confusing at first, and so I had to go back and I saw it. I don't know how many times I saw it at the theater, and finally it's like, oh, okay, I get it now. I see where all the connections are. But such an incredible cast, besides Uma, Bruce Willis, probably one of his best roles, Samuel L. Jackson, John Travolta, and even some of the smaller roles, but just incredible. And it's one of my, I have to watch at least a couple of times a year. But anyway, yeah. And
what I remember about it was soundtrack, how much I love the soundtrack for it.
And the soundtrack.
So good. The soundtrack, yes.
Tarantino has a great way of weaving stories around songs that he just digs.
Yeah.
He'll create the soundtrack before he creates the script,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he revived a lot of careers. Like hardly anybody remembered Dick Dale. And then he put that song at the beginning of and everybody's like, oh yeah, I remember him. And yeah, just great music. Son of a Preacher Man, and the remake of You'll Be a Woman Now, and just so many great songs. Yeah.
Yeah.
So All right. Well, Rory. So, what was your number 2 then? If
Kill Bill. We talked about it.
okay. Okay.
Kill Bill stuff. And then Pulp Fiction was number 3. Um, Uma's performance in it was again stellar. She did a great job. You understood what her character was through. You know, I mean, there was no ifs, ands, or buts. And the scene where they bring her back.
Oh man, yeah,
it's just off the chain. So right down to the little stupid joke, you know, that she tells at the end, you know, where her character tips out, you know.
Yeah.
Just delightful. And and again, it's about Uma today. So the ensemble was incredible. Samuel L. Jackson, there's a story, and I think we've talked about it on the show here. That he wrote that part for Samuel L. Jackson, but when Samuel L. Jackson went into the audition, he blew it. And Tarantino's like, well, I guess, you know, I thought wrong. And he begged him to let him have a second audition. He said, I will nail this. I will get this. I swear to God. And he came back, and that's the Vincent, or not Vincent, that's the Jules. That's the Jules that we see in the movie.
How does he mess up that audition? Because like it's his soul, it's his essence. That's who he is.
Yeah,
crazy. I wish I could see that audition.
He just Tarantino's like, I'm sorry, but that's just not what I am.
He's very intimidating. This Tarantino guy, apparently, he's very intense. Like when you meet him, he talks really fast, and his ideas are flying, and he's talking and telling, I want it to be like this. Can you picture it like this? And everyone is like, what the heck is he talking about? And then it's like, go, show me your stuff. And then he probably froze. The guy's like, what the hell are you talking about? So that's what happened. That's what happened.
I'm thinking of Norm Macdonald's impersonation of him on SNL. He was on SNL and evidently was not easy to get along with the SNL cast. So a couple of weeks later, like 2 or 3 weeks later, Norm Macdonald did a sketch as him, as Tarantino, and it was just hysterically spot on impression of him.
Yeah.
Sure.
He's intense, but you know, he's a genius when it comes to filmmaking. So people respect him, and they give him the space and the time he needs to produce these movies. And even during the filming, he's in charge from the beginning to the end. Like he's running the whole thing, and sometimes it's frustrating. People, like, they don't get breaks. He doesn't give people breaks. It's like, no, we got to get it right. And it's like, do it again and again. And so, but look, then you get a movie like that. So you're like, you respect him. So yeah. All these geniuses are like that. They're too intense. Yeah.
Very intense. Zed's dead, baby. Zed's dead. Yep.
Now,
Dennis is on a roll today.
And she's in another movie on my list, is actress Maria de Medeiros, who plays Butch's girlfriend, the little French girl.
Yes.
And she's so adorable in her scenes.
Fabian.
So
Fabian.
She was also in Henry and June, which we're going to talk about in a minute.
All right. Well, my number 3 is The Truth About Cats and Dogs. A little romantic comedy that she did a few years ago with Janine Garofalo and Ben Chaplin and a young Jamie Foxx. And this is just a sweet little movie. Nothing too serious going on. But it does kind of focus on kind of women's insecurities, how society shapes our views of women and beauty standards and so on and so forth. And it's a little heavy-handed on that, but I love Janine's character, with all her insecurities and her doubts and everything, and Uma being sort of this bubbly, little bit ditzy blonde character that everybody falls in love with. And it's just a nice little movie. I really enjoyed this movie. I enjoyed it from the first time I saw it I saw it again recently for the show.
Manny, you're so sweet.
I have my soft side.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
What's happening with you guys today? Both of you. You should see my other top 5s.
We're modern 21st century guys.
Love it.
It's definitely on the honorable mention list. The only reason it's not on my top list, and because it is a delightful movie, both of them, Garofalo and Uma do a wonderful job with their characters, and it's a modern retelling of Cyrano again.
Yeah.
But with girls, and ironically, I mean, Uma's the one that the family member said you should get rhinoplasty, but it's Garofalo who's got the issues with her own looks and all that.
Yeah.
But Garofalo later said she really didn't like the way the movie came out because it had a lot darker ending where she doesn't get together with the guy, and she just really liked that. And the Hollywood grabbed it and turned it into a cute little bubblegum piece of happy ending.
Yes, they had to force the happy ending. Yeah.
So she was unhappy with that, but it is a good. It is a nice movie to watch and a fun movie to watch.
Yeah. There's one thing though that and it's not a major issue. It's just I think they missed an opportunity when she goes and meets Ben Chaplin again after the whole truth has been revealed and he feels like he's been punked. And she goes to talk to him at this cafe or whatever. She brings his coat back and they're talking and he's clearly just still very angry with her. I feel like he should have said something to the effect of, why would you? Well, no. So why would you assume that I was so shallow that I wouldn't find you attractive? Because I think that's really part of what's. I shouldn't hit a problem, but that is kind of what I think she thinks is that men are so shallow, they only like pretty women like Uma, her character, and so I'm never going to get a chance. And not, I'm not saying that's wrong, but I feel like they should have brought that up. Should have brought that up to her, like, oh yeah, well maybe you're right. Maybe maybe I'm making this. I'm making assumptions just as men might make assumptions about me, or make assumptions about Uma, her character, because she has that awful boyfriend that we see at the beginning of the movie, who calls her a dumb bitch, and I mean she's not as intellectual as the Garofalo character, but she has her own, she's a human being, she's a person. And so again, somebody's making an assumption about her based on her actions or whatever. So I thought that was a bit of a missed opportunity there. But overall, I just really like this movie. And I feel like maybe they should have had the darker ending, but it's Hollywood. What you gonna do? So that was my number 3. Pam, what was your number 3?
Okay.
We talked about that.
You want to take a guess? Can you both take a guess?
Batman and Robin?
Nope. Rory? That was terrible. I didn't like that
I'm
movie.
going to say Henry and June because that's my number 4.
No, my number 3 is Hysterical Blindness.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay, you guys. She was amazing in this one. So this movie, actually, it's a television drama film, okay? And it was, it took place like in New Jersey, okay? So the characters, they spoke like they were from New Jersey. They acted like they were like, because people from New Jersey, they have a way of speaking and acting and walking and talking. So all her body language, her mannerisms, her voice, the way she would talk, she sounded like she was from New Jersey.
Like The Sopranos.
Yeah. And it was so good. Like, it was so believable. Like, when I watched her in that movie, it wasn't like I was like taken away. I didn't feel like she was insulting the people from New Jersey, or she was, it was so believable. And her friend who did a good job. And the storyline is basically, to summarize it, she was diagnosed with this condition called hysterical blindness. Okay. It's a mental kind of illness where when you're stressed out, or you suffer from depression or anxiety, sometimes the body plays tricks on you. You can go blind for a little bit. You lose your sight.
Right.
So her doctor's like, you need to relax. You got to go out and have fun. She was a young girl, right? So She was going out with her friend, and they were looking for a good time. And then she meets this guy at the bar, and she's very needy. She comes across as a very needy, vulnerable type of woman. And when I was watching, I was young when I saw this movie. And when I was watching this movie, I felt pain for her.
Hmm.
I was watching her, and I was like, where is her self-respect? Where is her love for herself? Clearly, she's having doubts about herself. There's something going on, hence why she has this condition called hysterical blindness. But what's the source? Where does it come from? Where is this insecurity coming from? And then when she's kind of like throwing herself at this guy she just meets at the bar, and they go at his place, and it was a one night stand, and she knew it would be a one night stand. She was fully aware, and the guy didn't give her any mixed signals. Like, his signals were pretty clear. Like, he wasn't interested in her. It was just like a one-time thing. But the fact that she was so vulnerable and so needy and didn't have that self-respect, it hurt when I was watching this movie. It's like watching, let's say, a friend or a sister acting like that, and then you see her mom in the movie. She falls in love with this older guy. Like, much later in her life. She never had experienced true love, right? She never, she never felt loved by anyone, and then she finally, at the end of her life, meets this wonderful guy who then passes away. Ironically, he just dies on her,
Ah.
and it was such a simple movie, very simple. It wasn't like those big movies that she's made in her lifetime. Okay, because this was back in. Well, this was actually done in the early 2000s. I mean, she did Pulp Fiction before this movie, okay?
Yeah,
But
96 or something like that.
yeah, like Pulp Fiction was 94, and this
92.
one was, yeah. But the fact that she did a movie like this showed her diversity in her acting abilities, where she's not only good in playing action films, she can play that everyday girl and get so down to earth and make you believe her vulnerability that you're like, whoa, that's good. That's like that. This is great acting. And I remember feeling, walking away and watching that movie, feeling how a lot of women behave in this manner, and it made me realize what it made me not realize, but made me wonder what makes someone behave this way, whether it's a man or a woman, but more specifically women, because by nature they're more vulnerable. So I'm wondering what causes people to behave like that. So for me, it was more of a movie to kind of understand human nature and go deeper into the character. So for me, it was like top 3 because it was so good, you guys. And if you haven't watched it, go and watch it. Hysterical Blindness. You'll love it. You'll love it,
Okay.
Manny. You too.
All right.
Rory,
Got it
you'll
written
like it.
down.
Yeah.
Good. You're going to see a
Well, I
side
saw-
of Uma that you've never seen before. Well, maybe no, she did some other romantic stuff, but this one she's playing that New Jersey girl, that young,
Yeah, you could see
desperate.
from the cover. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like an interesting cast too. I mean, Gina Rowlands and Juliette Lewis as well. I mean, they're pretty good. Pretty good
Very,
too.
yes, top up there. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Cool.
So that's my number 3.
All right. Well, then
I found this week
sorry,
that
go ahead.
Jeffrey Lewis, the character actor, was Juliette Lewis's father. I did not know that. He's been in like a zillion Clint Eastwood movies. He's done horror films like Salem's Lot and a Trilogy of Terror 2. I mean, he's a great actor. He's a wonderful, wonderful character. That's Juliette Lewis's dad. I didn't know that.
Wow, I didn't know that one either.
Yeah, craziness.
Yeah, this is the first that's so
Yeah,
cool.
She showed a picture on Father's Day of him, with her. He just passed a couple of years ago.
Oh,
And,
yeah, right.
Yeah, he's in the Every Which Way But Loose is Clint Eastwood's brother, and he's also the bad guy in High Plains Drifter, the one where he paints the town red, calls it hell. Yeah. He's the head of the bad guys in that one.
Yeah.
And he's also he's kind of the heavy in Billy. Bronco Billy. So anyway, Juliette Lewis again was also a Tarantino girl. She was his girlfriend for a while. She's a lot younger than he is. It was kind of creepy for her.
She was? She
Yes.
was?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
What the?
Yeah.
Wow, I did not know
Couple
this.
Yeah, a couple of years.
Well, yeah. Well, she was in
Dust to
the
Dawn.
vampire movie Dust to Dawn. Yeah, which
Yeah.
is a Rodriguez movie, but Quentin, I think, helped write it or something. And she was in wasn't she in Natural Born Killers, right?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. I think that was in Tarantino's script as well, if I remember correctly.
Could very well have been. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah.
So did we all see our number 3? Yes, right? We're at number 4 now?
Yes, we're number 4.
Yeah.
Okay, we're doing good with time. Okay.
Yeah.
Do I go first now for number 4?
Yes.
Sure. Yes. go
Okay,
ahead.
so my number 4 is Prime.
Okay.
Huh? What are you talking about there, Pat? Have you
Another
seen
one I
it?
haven't seen.
You haven't seen. Okay, so this one. Okay, so you know, I struggled whether I should put that one as my number 3. You know, I was struggling between Prime and Hysterical Blindness, but I ended up putting Hysterical Blindness before Prime because Prime is more of a comedy, like a romantic comedy drama film. And to summarize it, basically, she plays a divorced kind of 35-year-old woman, okay, from Manhattan in New York, and she got involved with this really young guy called David. Okay, he's like early 20s, and she in this movie, Uma, the divorced career woman in her 30s, she's seeing this therapist, and she's telling her therapist that she's dating a younger guy, and she feels kind of weird about it. You know, he's much younger than her, like 10 years, and her therapist was telling her, go for it.
But you're in your prime.
Her therapist is encouraging her, didn't tell her, it's a bad idea. She's like, live your life, enjoy your life. She's like, yeah, but I'm so old, I could be his older sister. And then she's like, nonsense, just go for it. And she's encouraging her, right?
Mhm.
Now, Meryl Streep. Meryl Streep is the therapist, by the way, just as a little. So she's good at playing that part. The therapist, she did an excellent job playing that part, and everything is good until she bumps into Uma dating this younger guy, and that guy is her son.
Is her son.
Oh.
I knew it.
And and so you have to understand, while you're watching this movie, okay, as a viewer, you're seeing her being enthusiastic, go for it, enjoy your time with this guy, and don't give yourself any rules, and enjoy yourself. And then boom, she sees her son with her, and right away she has to continue therapy with her. Did not tell her right away, and she's changing her tune. And then she also has to, like, the therapist also has to confront her son, discourage him from dating her. It's a big mess, but it's so well done. The acting is so good. And again, you see a side of Uma Thurman, this playful, girly, fun person to watch on screen. Beautiful, okay, but you don't see her like basically killing people and kicking their butts. She's like actually very loving, and she's like, there's also some hot romantic scenes, steamy scenes in there with this young guy who's probably super lucky. But anyways, I don't know. I don't know his name. I don't know this guy's name. I mean, he was very popular in the early 2000s. He made many films. But anyway, so
it's Brian Greenberg.
Oh, there you go.
Brian
Thank you.
Greenberg.
There he is. And that's it. It ends with them breaking up. But you see the love between them. And then again, it makes you think about love. So as I'm watching this movie, it's like, okay, does age really matter? And then, it just challenges you in different ways, and it's enjoyable. You can watch it and just have a good time watching it and not feel stressed or anything like that. So that's definitely my number 4.
I will tell you this. I think it makes total sense for the woman to be young and the man to be old, because men take they could be in their 90s and they're still kind of immature, right? But I always felt it was weird
Ah.
when an older woman would go for a younger man, because I'm like, oh, but they start off so immature to begin with.
I resemble that remark.
I bet they
I
didn't cover that
resemble
in the movie.
This boy,
Let's go to the game room.
this boy in the film, the character, he was very mature for his age. For a 23-year-old,
Skating.
was.
Pinky Duncan is doing the flames. She is totally. You know what,
Pinky-
Pinky? Go
The
for it.
flames
Go
of
for it.
love.
For real.
Go for it. Yeah.
Go for it. Meryl Streep, as the therapist, would tell you to go for it. But just don't do Meryl's son. Then that's where she changes her
That's
tune.
when she changed her tune.
That's when she changed her tune.
Honestly,
Yeah.
in all honesty, in all seriousness, I think it's less creepy for an older woman to be with a younger man than it is for an older man to be with a younger woman. I don't know. I mean,
It's because we're
You know,
all
the only way I can explain it,
even
sorry,
though
what
I've
did you say, Renee?
been there myself.
Well, it's just that, we're all unique. We all have our own, experiences and preferences. Obviously none of it's creepy. I mean, none of it's creepy as long as you're adults. Like, who cares? I don't think any of it's creepy. I'm just doing comedy. But for me personally, if I were just using intellect, like, I'm not attracted to younger men. But let's assume that my intellect would say, gosh, like, they're already so immature. But I guarantee you, you're right. There are young men that are very, very advanced. And also, it doesn't always come down to immaturity. A lot of people like people who are immature, and that's fun for them, right? So I'm not judging anybody. I just
Let me try to explain
Picture
this.
of Anna Nicole Smith with
See, that's what Pinky's saying. Look,
married for his money. Oh my God.
No, but look at this. Look at this. Pinky's saying her ex-husband was 22 years younger than her in the best 11 years of life. Good for you, Pinky. See, that's what I'm talking about.
Let me say something now.
Beautiful.
This is gonna be. I'm gonna say something, and I'm gonna lose some people as followers. But she was divorced, and she was in her 30s. Okay, and there she is meeting this young guy, and young guys, they're fun, and women actually are more confident in their 30s than in their 20s. Because I'm gonna say something. When I was in my 20s, man, I was more serious in my 20s than I am now in my 40s. I've changed.
Well, and again,
Like, I've had kids.
Reaches her sexual peak in her 30s. When a guy reaches his sexual peak when he's like 18.
Exactly, and then it goes downwards. So
and then it's just downhill from there. Yeah.
The thing is, I think for a woman to feel sexual and be confident in her skin, she needs to mature. I mean, I only felt confident with myself in my 30s. I actually would look at myself and I would say, damn, I look good. In my 20s, even though I looked better in my 20s. I looked amazing in my 20s. When I was in the moment, I was like, oh my God, look at me. Oh my God, I don't like this. I don't like that. Oh my God, let me try something else on. Oh, insecure in my 20s, even though I was happening in my 20s. And then I'm telling you, even now in my 40s, I'm like, damn, I look good. I have the confidence. Do you understand? So when you have the confidence and there you have this 20-year-old come to you and is actually looking at you, what you gonna do? You're gonna say, well, hello there. Hello, yes, that's right. I am happening. That's what happened in the movie. She had the confidence and she was divorced. Boom, perfect match.
It's just like how Stella got her groove back, right? How Stella got her groove back is the same thing. Yeah. Yeah, I don't look. Pinky is saying some beautiful things about her ex-husband, and I just want to say, obviously, I was just teasing. Chemistry is not based on age. People get along, and they get along over long periods of time. Exactly. If something works for you, please be proud and loud about it. Goodness gracious, there's too little love in the world. We need more love. We don't need less love. We need more love. So.
Yeah.
So, and I'm willing to believe that my guess with Pinky, and she'll tell me if I'm right or wrong, isn't that she likes younger guys, is that she likes her ex-husband and that he's the one who taught her that younger guys can be so beautiful because it was about him. I think love is individual, so otherwise we're just casting for a movie and we just have an open role and it's like, no, chemistry is not like that. People fall in love and it's beautiful,
I'm trying to explain it in a logical fashion.
Right, you're
Forget
going with the logical, right? But
the logical explains this woman just got divorced. She's feeling
right,
like,
that's the therapy angle, right? The
and she got
logic,
divorced and she
yeah,
looks good because look, it was Uma playing this part in the movie, right? They didn't put like a chubby, fat, ugly girl. They put a good looking girl. So she's feeling good about herself and she just got divorced. And this guy comes along, okay, yeah, whatever. She'll explore. That's
because
how I see it.
confidence, yeah, because
Confidence.
confidence and how you feel about yourself is where you'll be willing to
Well, okay
expand
then.
and believe in yourself. Yeah.
Now, if a 60-year-old would approach her and show her attention, that would totally ruin her confidence. She would be like, oh man, I got only a 60-year-old wanting me.
Unless it's like what Pierce Brosnan or I mean, you know,
Yeah,
come
yeah.
on,
Unless,
60-year-olds are rocking
but
it.
let's
Let's
be
be
honest.
honest.
Let's be honest.
60-year-old Harrison Ford is, you know, come on.
Listen,
It does, yeah.
okay.
So it doesn't
Well,
matter,
you
but
know,
It
he's just
doesn't
making
matter.
Nicolas.
It's just a movie. We're just having fun. I'm not saying any, but I'm
we're
just saying.
just having fun, guys.
Watch people unfriend me now. Okay, but listen, this is the only way I can
Nah.
explain it. Okay, people
Chemistry was there
can
from
love
day
who they want. You want to love a person who's younger than you, older than you. I don't care. Do what you want. But
They
I
say
think
they say these young women, young beautiful women, will go and find some wealthy elderly man and they'll say it's all about the pocketbook. But the truth is, a young beautiful woman can also get a really wealthy young man. So she's choosing, she's choosing what she's choosing because not everybody has the exact same chemistry. Not everybody wants the same thing. We have to just respect that everybody's different. And that's what the LGBTQ plus movement is about. We're trying to evolve as a culture, right? We don't want to. So we're just joking, everyone. That's what Pan is saying. We're just making jokes.
yeah. Don't listen to Pan.
We're
Go
elevating
see a real therapist. Pan is just an accountant. I'm not a therapist.
No, Meryl
Part-time
Streep is the
comedian.
therapist. Meryl Streep.
And she did such a good job. Look at her.
We're all going to
Hang out
go
with
watch this movie now because Pan talked about it. We're all going to watch it.
You better go watch this movie. You
We're
better
going to
go
watch this movie, man.
All right.
Look at her.
Fine.
She's so pretty. And look at this
She's
guy
so
going
good.
gaga.
And the guy is so cute. He is cute.
And look at Marilyn's face. Look at Marilyn's face.
I love the terrible photoshopping here. That's great. Let's just throw a bunch of pictures.
Same room.
Exactly. Another one in the same room.
Okay.
Right,
so what's your number 4?
I've totally forgotten now.
We cannot compete with Prime. Let me tell you that. We cannot compete with Prime.
All right. No, my number four, and I don't know what people might think about this, but my number 4 is the Avengers. Not the Marvel superheroes, but this is based
That's
on
my number 5. That's my number 5. I hear you, Manny.
Yeah. And look at Sean Connery, an older, come on. Anyway,
there you go, Sean Connery.
I have the exact same black leotard that you see right there. I have it at home. You see that? Yeah.
Oh, please stop.
The Halloween costume. It's one of my Halloween.
Yeah. So this is based on the 1960s British spy show, The Avengers.
So good.
Patrick Macnee and Diana Rigg, and this one is Ray Fine. Yeah, Ray Fine and Uma Thurman as Steed and Mrs. Peel. It bombed horribly when it first came out.
I know.
Still doesn't get the love that I think it should get.
Not for me.
I
agree with you 100%, Manny. I thought it was a great movie. I still think it's a great movie.
Yeah. I'm not going to go that far as calling it a great movie, but it's a fun movie. If you're going to compare it to the TV show, yeah, it doesn't compare. But
I thought the cast was so good. The cast was good. That's what drew me in. The cast. Everybody was amazing. Yeah.
And I love that Sean Connery plays a villain in this one.
Wasn't better. Yeah.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
It needed some work, but it wasn't for me. It wasn't like it would make me stop watching it. I still enjoyed it.
The unfortunate thing is, I've read the original script, and it is so much better. And whoever they got to rewrite it, or why, he should have been fired, or she, probably a he, because the original script was actually much more inventive, much closer to the spirit of the series.
Where do you get these scripts? Online? Can you find them?
There's a website called Drew's Scriptorama.
Ooh,
Yes,
okay.
called
Scriptorama.
Scriptorama. And and you can go in there and it's got a listing. I don't think it's been refreshed since like for a couple of years, but there's a lot of scripts. Now, some of the links are broken because, either they've moved them or whatever. That one's still available. If you look up The Avengers 1996 or 98, I forget. And it's available. And like I said, it's very, some of the scenes are, you'll see that they're the same, like the whole opening where it's Steed sort of going through this kind of training thing, and they play the original theme over that. That's not in the script. It actually starts with Mrs. Peel, and you actually see her husband dying. Actually he's a scientist on this project, this weather project, and so there's this whole sequence that got cut from they changed it anyway. But the movie we got. Could it have been better? Yes, but it's still enjoyable. It's a fun little action movie. I love the part with the robotic bees attacking the car and all that. I mean, and they got Patrick McNee to do a little cameo as a character who happens to be invisible.
And Linda Thorson.
And Linda Thorson, yeah, who succeeded
Miss Peel.
Mrs. Peel.
Diana Rigg.
Diana Rigg, thank you. Dame Diana Rigg. Succeeded her in the part. But yeah, so fun little movie. And Uma, again, going back, she's just a good little action star as well. Did a lot of great stunts, and also Eddie Izzard, who Eddie Izzard plays a wannabe supervillain in another movie that Uma was in, My Super Ex-Girlfriend, which is one of my honorable mentions. But anyway, so that's my number 4.
That's My Super Ex-Girlfriend is also on the top of my honorable mentions list. My number 4 was Henry and June. It's based on works by Anais Nin, played by
Maria Medeiros.
Yes, Maria de Medeiros. She's wonderful in it. Uma is so broken in that movie. That's a wonderful performance. Fred Ward seems totally miscast to me, but
I agree. I've seen this movie. Yes, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. Some really steamy sex scenes in it,
Yep.
especially lesbian.
Oh yeah.
And that is
Did you just say, "Oh yeah"?
Huh?
I did, yes, and I'm not ashamed.
Oh dear Lord!
I said, "Oh yeah."
But it was so taboo because this movie, they made this movie back in 1990, right? And it was still like very taboo to show scenes like that. People weren't comfortable with, exposing things like that on the screen. And even I remember myself watching it. I was taken back from it. I was like, what is this? I was like, but now we see it all the time, and everyone is comfortable with this. But like, I remember watching it, I was thinking, isn't this going a little bit too far? And this is back in the early 90s. Well, I didn't watch it I watched it in the late 90s, but still, they made it in 1990, right?
Yeah.
It made my top list because of Uma Thurman's performance and Miss Medeiros' performance. They're both wonderful in it. It's not near as good as Frida with Salma Hayek, which covers a lot of the same type of territory, but it just does it in a much better way. It's a little disjointed to me. But again, it's a great Uma performance. You feel sorry for her because she's just so broken, and she's a product of, how these people live, these writers. And interesting cameo by Kevin Spacey in it as well.
Yeah.
Or early Kevin Spacey, and of course Richard Grant, Hugh
Richard
Grant's
Grant.
brother,
Yeah.
playing her husband, Anaisa's husband, and that's my number 4.
Cool.
Definitely
Well,
worth a look.
yeah. Well, that was my number 5. But we'll talk about that when we get to it.
Sorry, what was your number 5, Manny?
My number
But
5 is Henry and June, just
Oh,
as
okay.
you mentioned. Yeah, and like I think we mentioned, Maria de Medeiros played Fabian in Pulp Fiction and with Uma Thurman, although obviously they don't have scenes together. And she plays. I mean, these are real people. Fred Ward plays Henry Miller, who wrote Tropic of Cancer, which was banned. You know, it was considered pornographic. And Anais Nin, of course, very famous for her erotica. In fact, I have a copy of one of her books. And
Manny?
it's a collection of short stories that she wrote. Yeah, I'm an adult. I'm a grown up. I can
Can
read.
I ask
man.
a question? Can
I'm
I
just
ask?
teasing, Manny. I'm teasing.
I want to ask. I want to ask why men like lesbians. I really, because I was talking to a friend earlier today. No, really, I was talking to a friend earlier today.
Same reason girls like to watch boys kiss.
Not,
It's
I mean, well, people no, but I'm like, like, what is the reason? Because I just want to know.
Because they
Honestly,
want to get in between.
No, it's
So
not
they
even
want to
that.
get in between, but they don't like watching the threesomes as much. I just help me through this intellectually, guys. Someone's gonna help me. I'm not judging it. I'm just asking. I just wanna
Why do
know.
we like lesbians? We like lesbians because they're
I'm going to step
they're
into this.
girls. They're
Who's
female.
watching this show? Children, please don't watch this show.
Oh,
Your
yeah.
child
We
under the age
should have a disclaimer at the beginning of the show. Not for for adults only.
People are going to tune in for Uma, and now they're going to get a lesson.
Because
Why do
Howard
men like
Starbucks says
lesbians?
Well, Manny was gonna tell me. Tell me. I just want to know.
Oh,
Nobody will ever tell me. I ask men all the time. They never tell me.
really? Oh,
Nobody tells me.
we
Okay, it goes like this, Renee. Let me explain it to you. So you watch these
See,
two girls.
nobody explains it. I'm
I'll
telling
explain it to you. I'll explain it to you. For
Well,
God's
women
sake.
always explain it, but women don't know because we're not
I'll
guys.
tell you. I know. Look, they watch these two girls together, and then they fantasize that they're in there with them. They pretend
you
that they're
said that
there.
earlier.
Yeah, I mean, what else can it be? I don't understand. I mean,
But
that
we're
must
just
be it.
guessing. So Patricia, see, all the women want to talk about it. Men don't want to tell it. Patricia says men can relate to the attraction to what a woman thinks. Okay, but Manny, you explain it. Manny was gonna tell us finally. All
Yes.
of womankind is waiting to learn.
All right. We like lesbians because they're safe.
Why?
Because we don't have to. Because they're not attracted to men. We don't have to. Oh, this is going to sound awful, but we don't have to pay as much attention to them as
Right.
a heterosexual woman, as a cis.
Thank you
female.
for telling the truth. We
That's-
need to
that's
have
it. That's it.
balloons. We need to have balloons. Manny needs a trophy. He's the only man on the planet who had the courage to really answer this, and I appreciate that. Thank you. That makes sense. Thank you, Manny. Thank you.
Namaste.
I
And
love
it's-
you and I
it's-
adore you.
It's
And a lot of them are really cute. So
when people talk about sex and people enjoy sex, they like things that are naughty. It signifies forbidden fruit. So it's kind of something naughty to watch. And again, we're attracted to that sometimes.
Right. And then the women don't want you, so you also don't have to do any emotional work, like what Manny was saying. Like there's no strings
you
attached.
don't have to do the heavy lifting.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like right. So see, Patricia is saying, thanks, Manny. Wow. Patricia is the grandmother, and she literally her whole life, no one explained it. Me, I'm a middle-aged woman. No one has ever explained it to me. Pan didn't even, really know. And she thought she knew.
No,
We always think
I
we know.
I still think that, okay, this is what I think. When Manny
But we're
said,
women.
Listen. Okay. Manny said something, fine. I agree with what he said. Maybe it's true. But you know what I also think? I think that they enjoy watching women together because I know they have fantasies. They want to be in there. You know,
but
all men want to
but
be with two
man,
women. That's it. They want to be
but
with two
how
women.
do
That's
we
it.
The lesbian
explain?
women don't want to be with the men at all.
Right.
And
But how do
that's
you
what it's about.
explain all of the rock stars who had all that, like Paul McCartney and all these guys that said they tried a threesome once, it was so boring they never went back. They, they choose not to do it when they can.
I don't know. I don't know.
I know it's confusing, Pan. These are not the humans the way we're humans.
I
They're
don't
men.
know.
They're totally weird.
I know I act crazy
I had some
online. I know I
experiences
act
in
crazy
very fun
online because I like the I act crazy and entertaining online, but I'm very boring when it comes to these things. Like,
Me
you know,
too. That's why I
I
had
don't
to
want to
ask.
see I don't want to see anything weird. I just want to
I
be
don't
with
wanna
my
see
partner
anything
and that's
weird.
it. What the heck is going on here?
Oh
But
gosh.
anyways,
Well,
for
Manny,
entertainment reasons, you can do what
Hey,
you want, you guys
but
at
look,
home, whatever
you know,
makes you
Pinky,
happy.
for me, if there's not a goat and some whipped cream involved, I'm not interested. So,
look at this.
uh,
Pinky Duncan
Manny,
gave
this
him
goat's
his
on fire.
balloons and his trophies. Those are for you, Manny. Pinky gave them to
yay,
you. There
yay,
you go.
thank
Okay,
you.
now we can move on because Manny
Okay,
cracked the gender
this was
code.
a
Thank you.
I cracked the code. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
this
So
was a
okay,
nice
so what?
stop.
Yeah, yeah. So
I'm so
Pan,
appreciative.
what's your
Thanks,
number
Renee.
5?
Thanks.
What's your number 5?
And
Who's
I'm
number 5?
Chaplin.
Me?
I get nothing.
Okay,
Uh,
okay, you guys listen to this. So my number 5 is the Avengers, like what Manny said, but I'm gonna throw in a second movie just
oh,
because.
okay, okay.
Jennifer 8.
Okay.
Jennifer 8. Have you watched it when she's playing that blind woman and it's like it's
Right.
under
Serial killers attacking
serial
blind.
killer? Yeah, so I had watched this a long time ago, and today when I was going through the list of all the movies, I'm like, oh, I remember that one. I remember thinking how good she was, how creepy she was in this one,
Mm.
how she really played a wonderful kind of blind and kind of mysterious character that they couldn't figure her out. Is she saying the truth? Is she pretending? Is she the killer? Who the hell is she? So I was like, I was captivated with her performance. I bought it. I was watching it. Now I don't remember details. I never had the chance to go watch it because I was in New York City this weekend. But I do remember watching and feeling amazed with her performance. Something again very unusual. She hasn't done anything like this. So go check it out. Jennifer 8, it's called. It was made back in 1992.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Early
Yeah.
90s. Yeah.
Honorable mention list. Yeah.
And Andy Garcia. Yeah. Yes, Gregory. Yeah, that's the one.
Correct.
It reminded me too much of Wait Until Dark.
Yeah.
Uh,
They were
you know,
definitely catching.
I kept thinking, oh, this is another version of Wait Until Dark, but with a few different twists, turns. But
Mhm.
yeah, yeah, it's a good movie. Didn't make my list, but yeah. Well, it's a good choice though. Yeah.
Okay. Manny, what's
pretty
your number
fun.
5?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh no, no, it was Henry and June. We talked about that.
Oh, okay. All
Yeah,
right.
my
Well,
number
you
5
said
is
you wanted to
Henry
say
and June.
something else about that.
Oh well, no, I was just going to mention that Maria de Medeiros was in Pulp Fiction as well.
Oh.
I like Fred Ward as Henry Miller with the bald and everything, but I actually liked Richard E. Grant more as Hugo.
Yeah, he definitely fit the
Even-
character better. I thought.
yeah. Even though he was kind of at first it was like, oh, he's the stick in the mud, he's the banker. No wonder she goes off with Miller, who's much more, he's this rough American, with
Yeah.
all the rawness and all that. But his character, Grant's character, Hugo, kind of he grew on me, and he turned out to be, kind of pretty cool. And seeing at the end that he actually becomes a filmmaker, and that his movies are in the Museum of New York, I thought was interesting. But yeah, that was that period, that pre-war period there between World War I and II. There were a lot of expats, a lot of Americans living in Europe at the time, and a lot of artists decided to move to France and to Paris, which was felt like a little more. Seemed to be a little more socially free than America was, and I don't think they were really suffering the effects of the Great Depression as much as America was. So, but yeah, it's. Oh, I know what I was going to mention. The director, Philip Kaufman, also directed Invasion of the Body Snatchers, which we're going to cover on.
Okay.
General Howitz is going to cover on Big Monster Briefing Room. He also directed another movie
Next week.
that had kind of erotic themes, The Unbearable Lightness of Being, which is a very interesting movie as well. And he was almost set to direct the first Star Trek movie, but then the studio didn't like the script that these writers had written, and so he was off that project, unfortunately. I think it would have been kind of
but V'ger made it.
But V'ger made it into the so and then he's done other movies as well, but those are the ones that just come to mind immediately. And Unbearable Lightness of Being has a lot of very similar themes to Henry and June, and it's also very, like I said, pretty steamy. But anyway, that's all I wanted to mention about that.
My number 5 was the Sweet and Lowdown, Woody Allen movie. Where you get this scene where he's trying to explain to her why he watches trains. Her character is a socialite, and she's adorable. She just doesn't get it. And again, her performance is really good. It deserved me putting it on the list, but she is overshadowed by a truly magnificent performance by Samantha Morton, who plays a mute character that Sean Penn becomes involved with. And oh my God, she explodes on screen without saying a word, as one critic said. And it's amazing to watch her perform with not speaking a syllable. She got an Academy Award nomination for it, I think. And ironically, she went on to go on The Walking Dead as the bald crazy bitch who dresses up like zombies. But if you haven't seen Sweet and
Lowdown, great.
It's not a happy end, but it's a wonderful movie. And again, it's talking about the blues and jazz. So I mean, it doesn't have to be You know, as a matter of fact, it's better if it's the other way around. So again, Sean Penn is just thoroughly disgusting. Or his character is just thoroughly disgusting throughout. He's just a troll. But he's a jazz musician. He's really good at what he does. So again, delightful movie. So it made my list.
It's funny you mentioned that because it almost made my list as well. And I forgot to put it on my honorable mentions list. I just didn't feel like there was enough Uma to
her
really
character
put it on the list.
That she's only in the movie for about 20 minutes, I think.
Exactly. And this is really Sean Penn's and, like you said, Samantha Morton's movie, and her character really stood out more than Uma's character. So, but still, Uma.
Kind of flip flop with my super ex-girlfriend, but I just feel right about putting that on the top 5 list. But I love the fact that she threw a shark in her ex-boyfriend's office.
I know, right? That is that's in my honorable mentions. I have some movies in my honorable mentions. That one is in there.
Did we get your number 5, Pam?
Yeah, I had 2 of them. I had the
that's right.
The Avengers and Jennifer 8. Jennifer 8, because I think those 2 movies she really did a good job, and definitely top 5. But I mean, there's so many good movies. That's why I'm keeping some for the honorable mentions. I can go ahead and give you my honorable mentions now if you guys want me to.
Yes, please.
So the way I did it is I'm a math nerd, okay? I'm a whiz, I'm a math nerd. So I did my homework, and I kind of split it into like 2 eras. So like the 90s and then the 2000s, okay? So actually her earliest movie that I've watched that she's done, it was actually in the 80s, 1988 to be specific. It was Johnny Be Good. Do you remember that movie, Johnny Be Good? With the famous 80s actors that were very famous back in the 80s. They casted everybody that did all those movies back then. She was playing the girl in that movie. Um, she looked like a baby. She was a baby. You guys should go check it out. It's called Johnny Be Good. It was in back in 1988. Really cute. It'll make you feel young again. It'll make you feel like you're in your youth. And then she did some really good ones in the 90s, like we talked about today, Henry and June, right? There's Even Cowgirls Get the Blues.
Yeah.
Remember that one?
Yes.
There's Mad Dog and Glory. There's Beautiful Girls. The Truth About Cats and Dogs. Dangerous Liaisons. Les Miserables. Okay, from 1998, not the other one that people watch.
Hugh.
Not that one. The 1998 one. So those are my honorable mentions in the 90s.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Les Miserables. Then in the 2000s, I have The Golden Bowl, My Super Ex-Girlfriend, The Accidental Husband, Belle Amie, Down a Dark Hall, and then the most recent one she's done, The House That Jack Built, and The Con Is On. Those are both done like in the year 2018. Those are worth watching, you guys. They're not my top 5, but they're like the new way. You know how they make music. You know how they make movies these days. Everything is super fast, and it's like they go back and forth, and they show like the scenes really quickly, and you have to think and try to put all the pieces together really quickly. If you like that type of style of music where it's like what am I saying music all the time? That's because I'm making music these days. Movies. If you like those type of movies, go check out The Con Is On and The House That Jack Built. Those are really good.
Fast paced.
Yeah. Well, The Con Is On is fast paced. The other one is just basically dark. So is the Down a Dark Hall. Very dark. dark. If you like dark movies, go watch those two. But The Con Is On is fast. It goes fast, and it's like putting all the puzzles together. You'll enjoy that one. Those are all my honorable mentions. Basically, all her movies.
All right.
Just about. Yeah. All right.
Just
Rory,
about.
what are your honorable mentions?
Go ahead. I've only got one more movie that we haven't talked about that I want to mention, and it's kind of a disappointing mention.
To me, mentioned Les Miserables. I thought that was good. My Super Ex-Girlfriend. Even Cowgirls Get the Blues. And one that Pan surprisingly didn't mention was Get Shorty.
I haven't watched it. I haven't watched it.
She is reunited with John Travolta.
It's actually Be Cool, right? Be Cool.
It's a sequel. It's a sequel to Be Cool. Oh, Be Cool. Yeah, I got
Be Cool is a sequel to Get Shorty, isn't it?
It's a sequel to Get Shorty. Yeah.
Right.
Be Cool
and
is
she
the one that I was
back
talking
together
about.
with John Travolta now. Yeah.
Yeah. No, Gregory, not the Comics Adventures. Yeah, the TV show from the 60s is the one we're talking about.
It's a Peter Pan feeling. Fuck.
Emma Peel. Yeah. What we didn't mention about that was she plays a dual character in that, and she does very good playing the two sides of the character, the two different characters. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why it made it an honorable mention list for me.
Yeah. But yeah, I of all of those, my favorite is My Super Ex-Girlfriend. And
I love the premise of the movie, which is an ex-girlfriend can be really crazy. What would happen if she was a superhero?
Exactly. Yeah.
And the nightmare your life would be. And that's exactly what it is. And Luke Wilson is great at it.
So good. Yeah. Let's see the nightmare. Let's see the nightmare take place.
Yeah.
Let's see the nightmare take place. I want to see everything. I love that movie.
Yeah.
He was so funny.
My dishonorable mention is her Poison Ivy and Bat. She's obviously doing her Mae West thing, and the last scene is so terrible with her and Batgirl squaring off. But again, it's a fun performance to watch for Uma.
Yeah,
the movie's not so great, but
I've mentioned this before. I hate that movie. I hate it with a burning lava-like passion. Not even Uma saved it for me. As much as I love Uma, and Poison Ivy's such a great character, and really could have done such an awesome job with that. If it had been taken more seriously, but they just went and said, no, we're going to make this into a cartoon, and not even a good cartoon.
Well, they were trying to do the 6 thing, with it being very camp.
Yeah, they went really campy with it, which is fine. I mean, I love the 67 Batman with we talked about this earlier with Adam West, and that was fine, And if it had been at that level of just silliness, but that I think plus they had so much money, they put so much money into it, and it just went too over the top, and I don't know. I just can't recommend it to anyone. In fact, I would gather up every print and burn it. It's that bad. But,
I just said that to get your reaction. I just fished you right.
Yeah,
I love listening to you talk about that movie. How bad you hate it.
So anyway, I was going to make a joke that was my number 1 on the list, but I was like, no, it's too obvious. It's too. I've said it too many times that nobody would believe it. What is it? Burning embers, pale in comparison of the hatred he has for all of us. Yeah, pretty much. Anyway, so thank you, Gregory. Yeah. All right. So, Miss Renee, do you have anything else?
We went
to add?
over. Look, it's almost
we went way over. This was like one of my favorite episodes ever. I love when Pan comes on because Pan and I get to team up.
Yeah, somebody just called me Peter Pan in the chat. That's somebody. Yeah, if you better not be making fun of me, buddy boy. Gregory
it's a
L.
Peter
Gannon.
Pan feeling. I think it was about something totally different. It was Gregory.
I love the pun in there.
Yeah,
Gregory L. Gannon.
I think we're talking about the Avengers.
Yeah, or the Avengers. Yeah.
Gregory understands Manny's burning hatred for things.
I am hate. Got you, Manny.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
Vengeance.
So I'm gonna be back, you guys. It's hard for me to come during summertime because my kids, and but today it worked out because my husband was on vacation. My parents are visiting us from Montreal, so they're here actually right now.
Wow.
And I was able to walk away and do this in my office while like my kids are with my parents and my husband, and he's on vacation too. So it worked out, and it was funny because I told my mom. My mom is like, okay, we're going to eat now. Okay, so what do you mean you're going to leave? I said, I have to go call some of my friends, Mom. I need to go make a phone call. Who are you going to call? You have friends here? Yeah, really?
Who you talk for an hour and a half?
Oh, and then my daughter's like, mommy's famous. She has her own show. My mother's like, what? And then she's like, what?
What show? Does he make money? What?
She's like, you famous? You have what? And then my daughter's like,
OnlyFans? What?
She has a YouTube channel and she's famous. She's on Facebook. My mother looks at me. She's like, it's a joke, right? You're joking. Eh?
She's on MySpace.
I said, yeah, Ma, it's all jokes. Listen to these kids. What do these kids know? My mother's like, good. Because I got all worried that, famous, this and that. So who are your friends? And I'm like, I said, nobody. It's okay, Ma. I'll tell you later.
The friends are more important than the dinner.
She's like, and why do you need an hour with your friends? Are they more important than me and your father? Huh? Why? I said, I'll tell you later.
And now you go to the office for an hour and a half.
What are their names? I know all your friends. I'm like, oh, you don't know these people. They're my American friends. Tell me their names. I need to know.
Wow.
I said, okay, yeah, their names are Manny, Rory, and Renee. What kind of names are that? She's like, okay, she's like, you better hurry up because we're not going to wait for you all night.
Voices. Oh, okay.
And now I'm like, okay, it's like, what did you say? What did you say?
I said, the man of 1,000 voices. Okay.
She has no idea who you are. She doesn't even care. My mother doesn't care about nobody. And she's like, you better hurry up. I give you 40 minutes. No, it's an hour and a half hour here.
Oh,
we better let you go.
Yeah,
It's getting cold.
We don't want your mom to be mad at us.
Yeah.
No, she's. You know what? My mom, if she was on the show, she would bring in all the fans, man. She would bring in all these followers. She's amazing. The things she says, like it's like no filter. Like she hates my hair. I have it blonde now, and she always tells me how stupid I look all the
Wow.
time. Yeah, she's like, "Why do you change your hair? You look stupid."
You are
So that's
not
what
blind.
she's like. Stop it. You just look horrible. Like just don't do it anymore. And I'm like, yeah, okay, that's not gonna happen. But she's cute. She's short. She's very short, and she's all personality. You know,
And
so she's
feisty.
very feisty. I'm like 7 inches taller than her, but I'm scared of my mom. Like, don't mess with my mom, man.
Yes, it should be.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's feisty. This was fun, you guys. So, like I said, I'm gonna do my
Yeah.
best to come back next month. We'll do something fun. Like, who are you doing? Well, what are you doing next week? Who are you doing next week?
Next week we're going to be talking about a director with a
Mhm.
very, very interesting visual style. We've been doing so many classic directors. I thought we need somebody a little more contemporary, and so we're going to talk about Wes Anderson.
Okay.
Yeah, he did Grand Budapest Hotel, The Fantastic Mr. Fox, which is an animated film, The Life Aquatic, just a number of really quirky, bizarre films. And I thought, yeah, let's do somebody more, a little more recent, a little more. And like I said, he has a very interesting visual style that I'm sure we'll talk about. So that's
when I come back, can I pick somebody again when I come back?
Of course. Of course.
Have you done George Clooney? Have you done George Clooney? Matt Damon?
No, we have not.
Let's do Matt Damon.
You want to do Matt Damon?
Uh-huh.
Matt Damon.
Matt Damon.
Matt Damon.
You know we're gonna do that. Sure.
That's going to be at the top of my list. Even though he's not.
Are you, no, I mean, is he on your list? Maybe he's not even on your list, right?
He's not on my list, but you know what?
Oh no, so sorry.
He's a major star.
Okay, you guys, I still have a big crush on him. Okay, like I've seen all his. I don't even need to go back and watch his movies. I've seen every single movie he's made. Okay, maybe not every single one, but I mean the most popular ones I've watched, like Good Will Hunting. You know,
well, save it for the show.
Yeah. I'll stop talking.
All right.
Before my mother walks in, and then you're really gonna get to hear her.
Yes. All right. So when you come back, we're going to be talking about Matt Damon.
Yeah, we'll save that one for me. Yeah.
All right.
Thank you, Renee. Where are you, Renee? Thank you.
I'm right here. I love you, and I love stories about your mom. And I think that's why you're a confident person. When you have a strong mother, you become.
My mom is 5 feet tall, but she acts like she's 7.
She packs the punch. There you go. That's the Greek, you know. That's the Greek in her, right? So I love.
She would look at your hair, and she would say the same thing, Renee.
Yeah, of course she will. No, of course she will.
What are you wearing a hair hat?
Look, Pan. I have, my family are the Ukrainian stuff and all this. I don't do any of it. I don't show them the shows. I can't do that. They're not gonna.
My parents have no idea.
You can't be weird. You can't be. You gotta just.
Okay, listen. My parents have no idea. My parents have no idea that I'm doing PanOrea Stream channel. If they did, they would be mortified.
Yeah, because this is not. You do the accounting. I do the lawyering.
No. I'm an accountant, which I run a small. I run a business from home. I take small clients, small businesses. I don't do big accounting anymore, public accounting. I don't travel anymore. I've cut down on all that since I've had my kids. But my mom still thinks I'm the successful accountant, and she comes in my office. She sees my paperwork, and she knew about this. She would freak out. And yesterday, I made him listen to this Greek song that I made because my dad is like, okay, you like making music for fun? They don't know anything that I'm putting it out there, but they're like, well, your music basically sucks. So why don't you start making Greek music? So I made Greek music. My dad took a listen and he's like, get all the English words out and write more verses. I said, I did write more verses. I just, the song is going to be like 6 minutes long. He's like, don't worry, do it again. And just remove all the English stuff. Just do it again. So he didn't even like it. So I'm like, holy shit.
Man.
Yeah, my parents are tough. Like they're my biggest critics. You know,
Tough
they don't.
crowd here. Tough crowd.
Ouch.
Manny, they would totally eat you up. No, I'm just
Oh,
joking, you guys. They're just like
sure
that
they
with
would.
me.
I'm
But yeah,
always talking about lesbian movies.
oh, they would hate it if they heard us. Oh my God, if they would watch this episode, oh my God, they would bury me alive. They would start digging a hole in the backyard and just push me in and say
You know,
the shame, the shame she brought to us, the shame she
The
brought to us.
shame.
This crazy girl.
She's talking to other men. She's talking about lesbians.
She's
What is
talking to
going
this.
on? Where did we
She's-
go wrong?
Yeah, no, I love my parents, but there's some things they don't need to know about. You know, my dad is
Yeah,
85. You know, he doesn't need to know everything.
Yeah.
He's gonna get a heart attack, poor guy. But my dad is you know, he like I would bring you know, exams home and he was like, well, why did you get this one wrong? You know, I got 99%. Well, why did you get this one wrong? It's like, geez, man, it's like it was never enough. It was always like, you can do better.
Yeah.
You can do better. So yeah, has kind of stayed with me.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a talk for me and my psychologist or my therapist. I don't have one, you guys. I don't have one.
As long as you're not dating their younger son. So
Yeah,
Listen,
that's where they draw the line, right? Yeah,
I'll finish.
draw the line.
I'll finish the show with this. Okay, if a 23-year-old approached me and was actually interested in me, I would be like on cloud 9. I would be like, damn, I still got it. Yeah,
I still got it. Yeah, there you go.
Yes.
I
Well, on
would.
that note,
And on that note,
And on
good night,
that note,
everybody.
Thanks for watching the longest episode of Two Guys and Two Gals.
Take
Watching.
care and don't do anything we do on this show. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
good night. Thanks for watching this episode of Two Guys and Sometimes a Gal Talking About Movies. Be sure to like, subscribe, and click that notification bell to get future episodes.